Welcome to the Community Hotline for the community, by the community. I'm your host, Mr. Bob Fang. And today we got Myke W.
What's going on?
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Myke from the greater Los Angeles area. And I work hard, baby. That's all I do.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell us, how are you? Were you originally from LA, or were you born here?
Originally from the Antelope Valley, the 661. Grew up, raised out there, and then moved out here not too long ago. I want to say 2013-ish.
Okay.
2013,
okay.
I moved out of here. Just been loving it ever since.
I love it. I love it. What was your first ever paid job, and how old were you?
First ever paid job. It was a seasonal gig for Demo, that off-brand, a Pac Sun, trying to go urban back in the day. I think I did that my senior year of high school. I had no car. It was at the AV Mall, and my interview happened to be during school. So on my lunch break, my friend threw me his keys, and I just took off in the middle of school to go up to the mall, do my interview, and I actually got the job, and I worked that for that whole season.
I love that, man. I love that. That's hustle mentality right there.
Oh, yeah, selling dreams to anybody.
Let's get with that transition. Let's get into the first topic, which is money. Tell us, what is money?
Money. To me, money is cream, like the Wu-Tang Clan said. Cash rules everything around me. That makes my world go.
Okay. What has your idea of money changed from today to when you were in high school?
I wouldn't say it really changed, but you can see through ways of just, everyday life, social media makes it seem, your friends make it seem, your parents make it seem like money is the end all be all, when honestly, I know people with money and they could do without it. They're more focused on life in general.
I like that. So when you were in high school, what did you spend most of your money on?
Oh, fast food, any computer part, a motherboard, anything electronic. That's how I spent most of my high school.
Okay. Did you download any illegal songs off of?
Of course I did. Oh, come on. LimeWire was hot. Oh, let's not talk about it. Oh, but yes, I am one of those. Guilty.
Got it. I love it. Then speaking of money, it was just a random thought that I had. When you're young and you make some money, a lot of people want to spend that money on food, obviously, and then some of them want to spend that money on women.
Yes.
What would you say to the kids, who want to take girls out on dates? Like, should the guy always pay, or like how should they handle their money in that situation? What about the gifts? Should they buy gifts to the girls? What are your thoughts and advice on that?
Wow. I guess that's a really hard thing to answer. I know everybody's, a little left and a little right when it comes to that. But for me personally, it's all about giving what you get back. What other people are basically giving you, feed off of the energy in the relationship, get what you can from it, what you will. For my relationship, going Dutch is never an issue, kids. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Going Dutch, you pay yours, she pays hers. At that same token, I know a lot of my male friends would say, nah, we doing a lot of work out here. We paying a lot of it. They want the flowers. I don't know any man asking for flowers. all that kind of stuff. And then I got female friends that'll be like, no, he needs to pay for my nails, my hair. This new lace front ain't gonna put itself in. All that kind of stuff. So I mean, uh, if she treats you nice, fellas, I'm gonna say just treat her nice, please.
Okay. You got a personal experience on that.
Oh, I got a lot of okay, so I dated this girl. Man, I'm about to put her on blast. No names though. Um I dated this girl. She was older than me. I'm 34. She was a little closer to 40. At the time, I was 32 when I dated her. She was a little closer to 40. Um, Everything was cool. I mean, she would buy stuff for me. I would buy stuff for her. And then I want to say after a couple months, she started realizing, oh, this is the guy right here that everybody at work actually goes to. He's about to be, the next boss around here. So maybe I should, peel back what I'm doing and see what he can do for me. And it started being, oh, I need you to give me $100 for this every week. And I need you to make sure you're doing, such and such. Make sure you're looking for better things to do in life, not just be stuck here. And I mean, I'm so glad I was supposed to have picked her up to take her to work one morning. She had no parking spaces at her apartment. I ended up going over there really early, sleeping in my car, parking in somebody else's parking space. Those people came home randomly. I needed to move my car. I called her, hey, the people's parking space I are parked in, they need me to move. She's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, well, I still need to be close because I'm not gonna drive all the way 45 minutes back to my house just to come back 45 minutes again to pick you up and then drop you off at work. She was like, well, that's not my problem. And that's when I legitly had to sit there and think about it. I waited. I waited until it was time for her to get in my car and go to work. I told her she better find her ride, and I right down the road, 45 minutes to the house. So yeah, sometimes being petty is the best medicine for for some of these females.
Okay, so basically, you give back what they give you is the theme right here.
Basically, I mean,
And
don't I mean, if you really love her, you love her. I can't tell you nothing, but make it all equal out. 50-50 is perfect relationship right there.
got it. And I understand you're married right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How does the finances work in a marriage versus how finances work when you're just dating somebody? Is it different or is it still 50-50?
Before, I mean, you're mostly worried about the things you got to take care of. If she's asking you for nail money, hair money, I mean, if I got it, here you go. Now that I'm married, it's more like my paycheck gets deposited, and that's the money. She'll take care of it, and then I get to use the little bit she gives me back. So, you know, but I love her all the same. It's all good.
I love that. I love that. Did you guys come to that agreement, or how did y'all come to
No,
that
it's just automatic. I mean, she does a lot. She had just got out of a really bad car accident. She did get a sizable payout for that. She's a great wife. She bought me a new car. That, I give her the money I make, and she does with it what she needs to.
I love that. I love that. Okay, let's move on to the second topic of the day, which is education. Tell us, Myke, who were you in high school?
I was the loudest kid in the class. Oh, I was the class clown, always getting kicked out of a class. Definitely had detention more times than I could count. But yeah, I was that troublemaker.
Okay. Did you if you could go back in time, or you could tell little younger kids now, being a troublemaker, would you tell them to continue to go down that path, or would you have done something differently?
If I could go see myself back then, I probably slap myself a couple times and tell myself, hey, to be honest, it's all great to make the people next to you laugh, but later on in life, you're gonna be the one getting laughed at.
Elaborate on that.
Elaborate more, like I do know a
Personal
couple
experience.
people I went to high school with. Now it took me years to get into something I liked. I went from working at that clothing store to what did I do after that? I worked at um, as a rescue firefighter on a racetrack. I worked at Best Buy. I went to the Marine Corps. I mean, all these different places I've gone. I mean, security work is where I should have, just left it alone. I love the line of work, especially working for a venue. When it came to education, if I would have just kept my face in a computer or listen to any of my teachers when they talked about their own personal experiences versus that's you, that's not me mentality. I mean, I definitely probably would be doing better, but as it stands now, I love what I do. I'm glad the path I took me as long as it took me to get there, but I'm glad I'm where I want to be and still have places I want to go. So, yeah.
I love that. Why do you think kids have that mentality of that's you and this is me? That type of
Uh,
attitude. Where does that come
Definitely
from?
because that comes from uh, just being around your friends, seeing your parents, and feeling invincible when you're younger. At a younger age, you can uh, go cliff jumping with your friends, jump into some water off a cliff, and that's not going to affect you. You can even get a scratch. Now, me as a 34-year-old person, I'm thinking about all the variables before I even got to the place versus just hopping in a car and going. I'm thinking about, okay, it's going to take me this long to get there. Once I get there, I got to get through all this stuff. Once I get to the hill and I see down there, am I really gonna want to miss work for messing up, not jumping too far to the left or to the right, and getting that cut? I mean, you're more invincible as a kid. Yeah,
I like that.
life is
Okay.
nothing. You got so much time back then.
When you joined the Marines, did you is there what was that? Was that like for the education portion? Did you learn a lot, or is it just more like going through the steps and going through the
Uh,
motions?
my personal experience with it was at first I was trying to learn what I could. I ended up getting hurt and pushed into a medical platoon where I stayed there for another freaking 3 months. After that 3 months, I got told I was gonna get sent home and get medically separated from the military. So I went from being in this really structured place where you went by a certain amount of rules and regulations to getting put back in the world where I mean, nobody really cared about what you did unless you were really a cop. I mean,
I see. I see. Do you what are I guess what are top two like life advice you have for kids, or that when you were a kid you were someone had told you?
top two. First off, money. Money isn't everything. It's not the end all be all like everybody would want you to believe. Uh, be happy. Live that life that you're here for. I mean, for as long as you got it. And surround yourself with people that want that make you personally want to be better because you're around these great people.
Great, great. And did you have that when you were in like middle school or high school?
Uh, I my friends always tell me I'm old, so I to this day I still have friends that are 5, 10 years older than me. I like surrounding myself with people that have been there, done this, lived that life. That can tell you some real things
Hmm.
versus oh, you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea, and never getting an explanation or uh, any kind of story out of what happened that would shy you away from doing certain things.
Love that. What would you say are two defining moments in your life, and how do they impact you?
Oof. Too defining.
Yeah.
Personally, not having any kids of my own, uh, and just becoming a stepdad. Uh, that that's a that's a total life changer. Uh, I got hooked up with his mom back when he was, I want to say, 10 months old. We were together for, I want to say, a total of 3 years. We broke up, didn't want to talk to each other, exonate each other out of each other's lives. And I want to say about 5 years ago, randomly saw her in a whole different city and reconnected. We eventually got married, and now I'm with this kid all the time. And I mean, losing them at first was hard, and having to come back from that. But now that we're together, it was like we never left.
Okay. So it was is that just one, the stepson, the stepkids, or
More of that, having that girl you think is the one, and then you guys finally just breaking your whole world apart. You thinking you need to go be that party person, be out drinking all the time, and then for that to really just come back to slap you in the face, and you just got to reevaluate, the person you want to be.
Oh, I see. How what was that like? How did you get through all that?
Most of it was learning to really be around myself, learning that isolation isn't always a bad thing. I shied away from hanging out with friends, drinking, even being on the internet, that kind of stuff. I just focused on work and work until, just something comes at me. I started living, day for day, not, just for that week or that month.
I like that. Okay. I talk to a lot of kids, and a lot of things that they go through right now through middle school and high school is like the peer pressure aspect of it. Like
Definitely.
they feel like I guess they can't be who they
They
really
want.
are. Yeah.
All I can say to those kids are, you go through life, you have these friends, and honestly, me personally, I still have 3 friends that I even grew up with and know. We might not talk all the time, but some of us, we check in, we see how each others are doing. But I had friends I was closer with and never seen them, never talked to them. Might even be friends on Facebook. But I mean, people change, you change. You're not always going to be on the same path, but everybody's going to the same place. I mean,
where we going? What's that place?
Hopefully not hell, but at that same token, I mean, just take the friends with you, that are there to support you. Honestly, people that are always there with their hands out asking what you can do for them aren't really your friends, to be honest.
I like that. What are top 3 signs, red flags on people who are not your friends?
Top 3 red flags. Personal experience right here. I do have this friend. Literally, he's older than me. We work the same job. We moved up in this same job together. You can tell he is really not caring more and more every year, because I have now, since becoming a supervisor years ago, have moved up from that position twice. And he's still in that same spot that I left him at. Now, if I have to tell him, the things that are going wrong in his areas, he's, so not trying to talk to me when it's a work setting. But off the clock. Oh, he's my friend. It's cool. But if it has to do with my work, no, I'm the worst person on the planet. That total red flag. If this person is not your friend at work, but you know this person outside of work and you conversate daily, there's an issue. There's big jealousy issue there. Red flag number 2, if you can look back over the past month of your life with this person and you are the one constantly doing things to help this person out, not saying that month, you needed them, but throughout that month, how many times did they need you? And how many times did you think, hey, I could call this person to help me, I don't know, move a bed? And they didn't answer. Third red flag, that's difficult. Third red flag always has to do with money, though. Third red flag always has to do with money when it comes to a friend. Can I borrow $5, $10? I'm sorry, but if you work the same job and you borrow $10 from me, and I know you get paid on Friday, and it was only $10, and you don't talk to me about this $10 for the next 2 weeks, that's a problem. Because I'm definitely not the person to press you about the $10.
How do you I guess I'm sure a lot of people go through this. I guess so double question. How do you deal with friends at work and then friends outside of work who don't want to listen to you at work? How do you get them to listen to you at work if you're the supervisor?
Literally, I do the same thing as I would to any employee I've never met. I try to talk to them like I'm a person, you're a person. I never try to talk to you like I'm so high above you that what you're doing is wrong. Or, through the manager training or supervisor training, even they tell you don't sit there and just talk about what the person's doing wrong off the bat. Go off of things that they do right, and transition in how we can fix the things that they're doing wrong and make them better. I mean, people that don't want to be unresponsive, i.e. my friend, that there's really not much talking that can be done. I mean, it's the managers here, they're telling me this is going on, and if all I'm getting is, oh man, they're just talking, whatever, it's really nothing I can do except try to let them know that, that's not how those managers work. And if they take you out of here, that's not my fault. This is you going with them, your disagreements with them, and them telling me, I know that's your friend, so I'm going to let you try to fix it before I really do my manager job. So.
Got it. What about the going after friends who you lent money to? How do you get that money back? Or you just kind of keep it a mental tab to never give them money again?
I mean, that's really all you can do. I mean, sometimes there's that random friend that will go a month with, saying, hey, I need $10 here, $20 here. And you're that nice friend that, might not give that money up. But if you do, it's always a good thing to keep in the back of your mind. Like, maybe this person's just not so good with their money. Maybe you are enabling them to do, you are enabling them to, they're probably hurting themselves, either in a mentally kind of way, a drug kind of way, there's so many things that go hand to hand with friends and money.
I like that. Okay, let's move on to the last topic of the day, which is love. Tell us, what is love?
To be honest, love is that breathless feeling that I can't be without you. I can't go without seeing you, hearing your voice, all that kind of stuff. All that sappy stuff they talk about in the movies.
Who was your first love?
My first love. Anybody who tells you this is wrong, your first love is always your mother, but your real Uh, your real first love is that person that told you you can be you, because I just like you for you. I would have to say that's my wife. I mean, I hung out with a lot of girls. I had a lot of female friends growing up. I was raised by all females. I have nothing but aunts and female cousins on my mom's side. I'm the only male on my mom's side of the family, so I got to see a lot of female personalities, and to be honest, it's just that person that makes you always want to be, around them. That one person you can bring everywhere with you. That's love.
So you grew up, so you don't have brothers, all you have is like you have sisters, or are you an only child,
I
or
have a half brother. Yes, I have a half brother and two younger sisters.
okay.
Me and my brother, we share the same dad. And that's about it.
Got it. What was it? Are you close with your mom? Are you close with your
Closer
sister?
with my mom. Grew up with her out in the AV. Saw my dad every other weekend. He was the LA guy. But I mean, I
And
love.
how long were they always separated, like from a young age,
Up
or
until I want to say I was 8. I think they got separated when I was about 8.
got it? What's that like? Growing up through like middle school and high school, growing up in like a single family household.
Uh, I mean, my mom, amazing parent. She was my mom and my dad. I mean that when I saw my dad, that was more of like a disciplinary. I was just messing up too much, so she had to call him to be that, that iron fist. But really, she held that down by herself very well.
Okay. Okay. What
But
what what
kid that tells you that double Christmas is the worst thing ever is a total liar.
what about your relationship with your sisters? Is there like a huge age gap, or are you guys pretty close?
I want to say 3 years with my little sister, who just recently made me an uncle. Hey, and I want to say my youngest sister is about to be 18.
Okay. Did you when you were growing up, did you ever fight with your younger sister, the one who's 3 years younger?
My younger sister used to fight with me. She, as I can recall, ran everything. I just had to live there.
Can you elaborate on that?
Uh, so being a young kid, a young male, you try to have as many female friends as possible, especially if that means you got to sneak them over to your house while your mother's at work. Now, having a little sister, to anybody who does have a little sister, already knows anything you do that for a fact your mom told you you couldn't do, and your sister saw you do it, she'd be calling mom, either telling her by the time she got home, I saw Michael doing this, or I heard Michael doing this. So there was a lot of things that I literally never got away with because she was a snitch. Yes, a true snitch.
What any advice for the kids out there who are in high school, who have a younger sister, who are doing this? Any tips on how to get away with stuff, tricks?
Now, I'm not sure about you, Bob, but back in the day, your parents used to have, the house alarm, and you slide the glass door, and then the alarm in the background, sliding glass door open. Well, back in the day, I used to sneak out. So I got wise. YouTube still to this day is a great, teaching tool for any kid of any age. Take a magnet, put it on that sucker, and I promise you could slide the door like this and no alarms going off. I used to sneak out of the house like that. Sorry, mom. And tell your sister to go hang out with her friends more, to be honest. Tell your little sister, go have more sleepovers with her friends. And I mean, Life would be so much easier if I would have told her to do that. So
Okay. Got it. I like that. I like that. What for the kids out there who might be having lady troubles, what are top three dating tips you got for the younger generation, or what do you see that's wrong with the generation today in terms of dating, and what are the three tips that they could improve on?
I don't know. I think from both sides of it, the way I've seen a lot of these females treat guys, or a lot of these guys are out here treating females, I think that number one, that definitely all that ties all in together. How friends are seeing their friends treat other girls and want to fit in with them, or how girls have been treated by guys, so they move on to the next guy and just automatically assume that they're like this, and really it's more of a communication thing. People really, if a relationship is something you're trying to get into, they should really just talk to the person, actually get to know them. I know when you first date, everything is on a physical level. You need to be attracted to the person. They have to, look a certain way, be a certain way. But I mean, the older you get, excuse me, not having a personality really kills any chance of life after 30, ladies and gentlemen. It really does. Personality actually counts.
Okay, I like that. What would how did you meet your wife?
High school. She was a transfer in, actually. She met her in class. Uh, we've just been friends ever since then. And she's probably gonna kill me about this, but she would be, those girls you would hang out with in school, and you would kind of like them. They were really cool. They were cute. There's nothing wrong with them, but you would have so many other girls that you were talking to at the time that you really didn't care about, starting, new things with just your friend classmates. And she would always call me, after school, hey, nobody's here at my house. You want to hang out? And I only lived on the other side of the street from her, from a main street. And to this day, I think about that all the time. She would call me to hang out, and I would never. We never physically hung out after school, anything like that, until after I got out of the military. That was when we actually started hanging out. Anytime she called, it was just to talk on my end. And she makes fun of me for that now. But
I
yeah.
love it. Miss time. How did you propose? Were you kind of nervous when that happened, or?
Uh, Not so much nervous. Uh, me and all my friends had went on a nice little fishing trip. It was my friend Eric's birthday. After that fishing trip, we all went back to his house, and this was, I want to say, like the third time I had taken her out with this group of my friends, my LA friends, when I moved out here, and we were all just sitting there drinking, and she looked at me, I looked at her, everybody, we were all standing around this, sitting around this table, but while everybody else was having their own conversation, me and her were just looking at each other, and I just loved the way she looked, and I just said, will you marry me? And she said yes. We looked around the table, nobody noticed anything, so we just kept living on.
There you go. There you go. I love
Those
it. I
little
love it.
moments that you can have, with one other person in a room full of people, and yeah, it was perfect.
I love it. Okay, and then one last final piece of question and advice. A lot of times the kids who act up, I notice it a lot in my teachings. Like a lot of younger kids, middle school, transitioning to high school, who are super angry at school. Like generally, there's something going on in the
Yeah.
household. How do you what would you say to kids who are just super angry when they're young? And how do they let go of that anger?
I mean, honestly, find something you can use to get that emotion out. A lot of poetry is always good. I know a lot of people become rappers because getting out what they have inside, through a lyric or a verse, even just composing a song, all those things they tie into your well-being on the inside. Music was my outlet for me. If I was angry, play angry music. If I wanted to feel better, I'd play the Beatles, that kind of stuff.
Love that. I love that. Okay. Any last words for the youth out there listening? Parting advice, maybe for
Parting
your.
advice: just live life to the fullest. Don't always say no to everything. Use every opportunity. Look at every opportunity like an open door.
Got it. I love it. Well, thank you for joining us today. Before I forget, guys, if you guys are interested in joining the community hotline to share your personal experiences with the kids, feel free to reach out at Ninja X Fang. If you guys are going through something and you don't feel like you guys have anyone to talk to, you can text home to 741-741. That is a national hotline. If you're going through anything, that number is always available to y'all. Other than that, Myke, where can people find you if they want to reach out?
Instagram, Hannibal King, Hannibal_King.
Hannibal_King. Got it, guys. All right. We'll see you next time.